Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another transfer news show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk football transfers, and there's been a whole lot of stuff that's happened in the world of football over these last 48 hours. Kai Havertz was announced to Arsenal. They're close to signing Timber. We've got the infamous James Maddison to Tottenham Hotspur, and of course, the steal of the transfer window. Manchester United have agreed a deal to bring Mason Mount to Old Trafford for £60 million. So we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got a full panel as well. So today's show is going to be absolutely electric, just as electric as Mason Mount running up and down the pitch for Man United at Old Trafford. Everyone watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch this on the replay, please do make sure you're slapping that like button. Do make sure you're subscribing. There's already 100 people in here. We ain't even started yet. Please like the video. Please subscribe to This is Football if you're yet to do so. We are approaching 15k subscribers. So keep liking, keep subscribing, share the videos like you always do. And let's introduce the panel. First of all, I really feel bad for any Man United fan because I hate that club. But this guy, the depressing voice notes he sent me on WhatsApp tells you all you need to know, because this guy is in absolute depression mode, and I love it. Not because I want him to be depressed, because I hate his club. So joining us on the channel, of course, is the guy that you're going to see tomorrow, inshallah, on the episode 4 of the Ahwa. Is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, here to talk Mason Mount for the 700th time. Man like Staffy, how are you doing, Habibi?
I'm hoping one day I'm going to be on this channel to talk about anything other than Mount. I'm praying this day comes. But I'm not depressed. Actually, I'm lying. I'm miserable right now. You know, this guy Hussam said my part of the message is saying, oh, this guy's been sending voice notes. But he forgot to tell you why I'm sending these voice notes. They're all answers to this guy laughing at me, reminding me 1,000,001 times that 11:30 UK time, you have to come on and talk about Mount, as if I need a reminder every 2 seconds. So once again, he's enjoying my misery, but as they say, misery likes company. So thank you for having me here, so I don't have to sit.
You're welcome. You're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. And I'm going to go from the saddest guy on the stream to actually the happiest guy on the stream. This guy has been dancing on Twitter because he sold Mountain Havertz. He's just been dancing. Johnny Minerals has been calling him out on his channel. All of that good stuff, of course. Let's have it right. Today, representing Chelsea Football Club, the biggest scammers. If you guys look at this thumbnail right here on the video, you see Todd Bowley and Ibali. They've been photoshopped into GTA Vice City because they have absolutely done a grand theft auto. Some way, somehow, they have gotten somehow 125 million for Havertz and Mount. How have they done it? He's here to tell us. Joining us on the channel, of course, is the man that's here to surf in the summer. Man like Andrew. How you doing, brother?
The guys, they could sell water to a shark, these guys, at this moment in time. Unbelievable. I just want to let you know, this will be one of my last times appearing on this channel speaking about Mount. I'm now passing the baton on to Staffy. I'm not talking about him anymore. And I think Hassam is frozen, Is he frozen? I think Hassam's frozen right now.
I mean, it is what it is.
He's frozen. He's going to go in a minute, and it'll just be you and I.
We're stuck now. We can't even introduce anyone else.
I didn't introduce anyone else. Oh my God, what's going on?
Because we got two more in the background. But it looks, listen, this is how Destiny just wants me to talk about Mason Mount. They put me here with a Chelsea fan. And as he said, he's passing on the torch to me, basically.
There you go.
And I have to sit here stuck with him until Hassan comes back to talk about Mason Mount. So what are we doing here?
I don't know. Maybe I guess what in the chat, I mean, we can talk about Mount right away, until he comes back. See, it's gone now. He's going to come back and say these whatever's gone out or whatever like this. But smash the like buttons anyway, you freeloaders in the chat. Press the likes, press the rent. That's the rent. Press the like button.
Like button, share, subscribe. There's no way you guys are here to watch my misery without at least giving me a like. So until Hassam comes back, there he is, and you're on mute.
There's no way I like that at the intro. That's the record time for
Listen,
lagging out right there.
I said to everyone, I think it was destiny that just put me and Andrew in a stream alone to torch me about Mason Mount. So
Unbelievable.
I'm glad that you're back.
Big up, big up. So I'm glad Andrew's happy now. Joining us as well on the channel is Arsenal Represent. This guy's here always talking about Arsenal Football Club. And you know, he's been quite a popular figure in the comment section. So anytime there's any Arsenal content, I always DM him. I always let him know, yo, Karan, we need an Arsenal guy. So joining us on the channel, of course, is the guy that did a 1 a.m. Declan Rice stream with me with 600 people watching us. Of course, man like Karan is on the channel. How you doing, bro?
Hello, brother. Hello. It's a good day, man. Another deal, another day. Timber seems to be done. We keep moving. So, all good. I mean, other clubs apparently have embargoes, so it's nice to actually get some signings through the door.
I know that's a shot at me, but I'm gonna complete my intro in peace. I'm finally making his debut on This Is Football. Tottenham Hotspur have signed James Maddison, and they are considered part of the Big Six, so we can't just push them to the side like they mean nothing. So joining us on the channel today is a man that you've seen speak on Spaces multiple times. According to Staffy, if you mention Harry Kane, he gets triggered directly. And him and Staffy have a little bit of a love-hate relationship. Staffy hates him and he loves Staffy. So joining us on the channel, of course, is the man himself making his debut. Man like Jay. How you doing, bro? You're on mute. You can't bottle it already. You're on mute.
I was saying that was a hell of an intro. I like that. It was Paul Heyman-esque. You definitely talked me up, but no, I'm feeling good. Lots to talk about. At least we've signed somebody. So yeah, you know, I'm in the mix.
Yes, sir. There's a lot to talk about, but there is only one place to start. First, comment section. 250 people here. Like the video, subscribe. Yalla, let's get to it because there's so much to talk about that I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. Staffy, come off mute. I see your mic is on mute. Come off mute right now. Let's have it right. The Minerals have landed at Old Trafford. 60 million is the reported fee. 1 year left on his contract. I'm not even going to say anything. Staffy, the floor is yours. Your thoughts on Mason Mount?
I mean, Hossein, it's not like it's the first time I'm talking about Mason Mount on your channel. So these guys are pretty much bored of hearing it. No, it's not going to be the last because this guy's our player right now. So the more this guy invites me, the more we're going to have to talk about this guy. So it's going to be a hell of a journey. But I don't get it. For the fans, I'm going to leave it up to you. Which kind of stuff do you want to see? Because when I'm negative, they don't like it. When I'm positive, I'm deluded. What do they want to see? I come out and give my honest opinion, and my honest opinion has been very consistent.
We want your honest opinion. That's what we want.
Okay.
You gonna listen to the comments?
No,
Why are you worried about the comments? Give us your real opinion. Say it as it is.
Listen, bro, it is what it is. We already signed him, so I'm gonna cut the crap. I already said what I think about him, but at the end of the day, I am a fan, okay? And I support my club. I support my manager. When the season starts, trust me, I forget all agendas. For 90 minutes, I drop all agendas. I forget all agendas. I'm not a big fan of so many players on our team. Whenever they score or do something well, I praise it. I celebrate it. So it's going to be the same thing. This guy's our player right now. I will back him. I do hope that he succeeds. I'm not going to sit here and pray that he fails. I'm not going to pray. Lewis needs to leave me alone. But I'm not going to pray for his downfall just to sit here and be like, well, I told you guys he's not good enough. I'm not that type of fan. I wish I could be. It would be easier, but I can't be like that. Because at the end of the day, I want the team to win. I would love nothing more than Mason Mount to come in and just put in a performance of a lifetime, you know, get the most assists in the league, get the most goals in the league, fire us to win in the Premier League. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And I've listed my reasons more than once. I don't think he's the profile player that we need. He was not the signing that I expected. I expected a profile player who's going to play a little bit deeper in that midfield, make that midfield a little bit more balanced next to Casemiro and Bruno. You know, someone who could play a little bit deeper, progress the ball, you know, retain the ball well. But we went for someone who's completely different profile. We went for another player who plays in the final third, which I don't think we need that. He is not good at ball retention. He's not the most intelligent player on the ball. If I'm being very honest with you, I don't know his qualities. You know, like I know what he does. I just don't know what he excels at. You know, people told me a lot of stuff about P and that he brings legs into that midfield that Eriksen doesn't have, and he's gonna win the ball up the pitch and he's pressing and all that. But he's not even the best in class in any of the things that you just listed. Like, if you would have told me we're getting the best in class of any of these things, I'll be like, okay, I don't understand it, but we went and got the best one. I don't think Mount is the best one. When I'm looking at all the teams around us signing various midfielders that I rate more than Mount. And Ozzy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that you have to hear this again, but I am saying from what's available and what's for sale, this is the last guy that I wanted. I wanted so many people ahead of him. I would have took Maddison ahead of him. And people keep saying that he's better than Maddison. So what am I talking about? Not in my books. In my books, I rate him higher. You know? So when I'm seeing the people around us getting Declan Rice, Caicedo still for sale, even Jude Bellingham, I'm not saying that we were going to get him, but he went to Madrid. This summer there was a lot of midfielders that are being moved around.
That up, by the way.
And he just wasn't the one that I want. I don't think he's the right signing. Do I hope I'm proven right? Yes. I'm sorry. Do I hope that I'm proven wrong?
Oh, yes, the truth came out there. You hope you're proven right.
I hope I'm proven wrong because I want my team at the end of the day to win. But I just don't see I don't see it happening. But the season is long. The summer's still long. There's going to be more signings, hopefully. People are telling me today, but the summer window isn't done, Staffy. How do you know you're not going to sign this player and that player? Where are all these links? Because when I wanted Caicedo, he was linked to Chelsea. And what did we just do for Chelsea? We just gave him a bag. We said, hey, Andrew, you want Caicedo? Here you go. We just gave him a bag. So, like, the people that are trying to tell me, oh, well, don't rush it because you still might get these midfielders that you're talking about, most of them are already gone. And the last one is about to go to Chelsea. And that was my personal preference. So I don't think it's the right sign.
That transfer too,
which is it's the worst part about it. I just gave this guy money to go get the player that I wanted, you know. So I don't know. It's just like the whole thing. I'm not good. I don't feel good about it, bro.
And I know the other three guys are waiting to crash it on you as well. Felipe says Mount for 60 million, pathetic. LFC keep away from Spalletti. He wants Saudi money, not John W. Henry. Maddison and Rice quality deals. Kane to Bayern soon. Felipe, thanks so much for the super chat. The whole Spalletti thing, I'm gonna do a Liverpool show inshallah tomorrow to talk about it, probably with James Redmond, Mons, one of them guys coming on. We're gonna talk about it. As when it comes to Mount for 60 million, it's pathetic. I agree. The other three guys, feel free to chime in whenever you want, because this guy's on the last year of his contract. I see Andrew dancing already.
So
go on.
I want to bring fairness to this, and I want to look at it slightly differently. So from my point of view, Mount is a good player, like good to very good. Depends on where you drop on the gradient. Like Chelsea back-to-back player of the year, right? This season just gone, bad season. Fair enough. But player of the season when they won the Champions League. Player of the season after. So I'm looking at the United team and I'm looking at what United have tried to do, and even to the point of when they've played like Weghorst deeper and things like that. And it's clear that there's certain positional and technical traits that Ten Hag is looking for. 24. And I put the transfer fee to one side. The main reason is it's almost impossible to get players out of Premier League clubs now with 2 years on the contract. Yeah? Go to any club and say, go to Crystal Palace now, 2 years Eze on his contract. How much do you want for him? See if they say any change out of 80 million. So when we look at the amount, I think that 1 year left is going to become the new, hey, this is when you can actually buy a player time frame now. So for me, I look at Mount as he's a good player. Like, as in, I'm not sure what United are trying to do with that midfield. From a possession,
don't you think that's the biggest problem, though?
Well, that's
Bruno, Casemiro, and Mount doesn't work. That's the problem.
Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno doesn't scream controlled possession, but Ten Hag might have a different way of setting up. You know,
Jay's being nice. I know.
I'm trying to be fair.
That doesn't even scream controlled possession. That doesn't scream possession. That doesn't scream possession.
Because if Klopp wanted Mount, if Ten Hag wanted Mount, if all these top managers are wanting Mount, like I gotta be balanced and not be like this guy's shit, because obviously he can't be, because these top managers want him. But I'm almost like, what is Mason Mount to facilitate for Man United? Where do United go with a midfield of Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro? What is the aim?
Jay, you know what my issue is? Let me add to that. My issue is that last summer, we were going for De Jong. Now, when you compare the players, not only is De Jong better quality, there's just completely different profiles. So when you see that a manager's trying to get De Jong, you kind of understand where he's trying to go with that. Okay, a ball progressor. He's good under. He's press resistant. Okay, he can play in a possession-based team. There's so many things that you could say about De Jong that don't really fall into same profile that Matt has. Now, you can argue quality. If they were the same profile, but he's lower quality, be like, you know what? We got the same idea. It's just like, the quality is a little bit different. I just don't see where we decided to throw away possession-based football.
The fit isn't there.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand where we're trying to go, because we have, let's be very blunt and honest, we have gotten battered away from home so many times this season for one reason. We can't keep the ball when we play away from home. We have to rely on the counter. So people are telling me, well, Mount fits better for the counter-attack football that Ten Hag is playing. But why? I didn't know that we were trying to play counter-attacking football. We had to play counter. Okay, so we had to play counter-attacking football because we couldn't keep the ball. So now we're improving our style of counter-attack instead of improving the way that we can keep the ball. That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me, because I thought that was the idea. I don't want to play better counter-attacking football. I just want to limit the amount of times I have to play counter-attacking football. And that's it.
But this is the thing, and I think a lot of people are missing this. You're not building a possession-based team. I think
that's off. That's scratched.
You're not building a possession-based team. What does Mount excel at? And some people have said this. I know Winter Surfer isn't exactly his biggest fan, but what does he excel at? He's very good out of possession. He's someone that presses very well. He's someone that can find through balls if given space and time. He's someone that is a decent, if not better than decent, ball striker. And he's someone that can find a pass, not just through ball, but like a switch or in short possession play. But he's not someone that you're looking at and going, you know what, he's going to be an 8 that will drop in and get help in possession in terms of sitting deep and progressing through the lines. He's not going to be a Caicedo, even with coaching now, a Rice, because Rice is now going to be under Mikel Arteta. He's going to be later in the video. But the point is, you're not looking at a possession-based side. You're looking at not kick and run, but quite clearly a change in philosophy to what a lot of teams are doing. He's looking to play counter-attacking football, and I think this plays to the strengths of Marcus Rashford, for example. It plays to the strengths of your centre backs.
Can I ask you a question, Karan?
Of course.
Isn't two things. First of all, isn't counterattack just a phase of play? All teams, by definition, counterattack. If you get attacked, you defend well. The next part of defending well is you counterattacking. So even City, Liverpool, Arsenal, everyone counterattacks.
What is Brighton's best thing, though? Yes.
No, but here's my thing. Yeah. You're just improving a phase of play. Correct. So when you're talking about bottom 12 teams, even away from home, like if you're talking about the Luton Towns, the Forests, the Palaces, they're not coming at Man United trying to attack them. They're probably going to give United the ball. It's going to be a low block thing.
Let me just put this way. What has everyone gotten so crazy about De Zerbi about? De Zerbi is about creating and manifesting and basically perfecting transition play. Correct. He is someone that he creates transitions in settled play and then basically forms attacks that way. I think what Ten Hag is doing is really, and this is just my opinion anyway, what he's trying to do is he's seen the squad that he has, and I think a lot of people have got mixed up because he's Dutch and he's coached under Pep, that he's strictly a positional play guy. Ten Hag has always been someone that adapts to the squads he has. He started as 3 at the back. He's gone to a 4 at the back at times. He's someone that takes the squad he has.
He's very diverse.
He's very exact. That's a very good word. He's very, very diverse. What he does very well is he sees the squad he has. He doesn't have the squad for a high line. He doesn't. He doesn't have a centre back in Rafael Varane that I can trust to get, put him on the halfway line and see if balls go in behind.
They tried that once. They conceded 6 in one half.
And the thing is, this isn't a salty.
Stop reminding me, man.
This isn't a salty Arsenal fan. I'm saying this genuinely as from a squad building perspective.
You're 100% right, by the way. 100%.
So this is what the facts are.
But my thing is, Karen, the reason why I'm asking you that is the conversation this year was, and I'm sure you've heard this.
Yes.
Erik ten Hag can't play the Erik ten Hag way because he doesn't have the players. Now, I understand why staff is upset because he's saying, so you're even going further away from the quote-unquote Erik ten Hag system. So that's the thing. Because this can't replicate Ajax in no way, shape, or form.
But the thing is, you can't say that this isn't the Ten Hag system. You can't say that because he's actively feeding into that system.
That's exactly. So you've got a system. Like, at what point does a system become your system?
You have to take accountability. You have to take accountability for these things.
But my thing is that obviously he's had variations of systems as he's come through his career, and now he's going to work this. Well, he's going to basically set out the team to improve on where they finished last season. So these players that they're bringing in, you've got to assume if they can get someone like Onana, I don't know what's happening with De Gea. You're looking at Mount, and the question is you had Sabitzer, you had Eriksen in the team. So basically you're saying that Mount is going to take one of Sabitzer or Eriksen's position. Fred. Sabitzer, Eriksen, Fred. Yeah, those three, let's say. Now, what is the level of output and performance that we're expecting from Mount for him to surpass those three? Because between the three of them, they were good, decent to good. So the level that Mount has to come in at to improve the floor of that midfield, again, is quite high. That's why I'm looking at what they're trying to achieve with this team. Is Shaw going to be more involved in the build-up? They're not buying a new right back. So Dalot, Wan-Bissaka. I don't want to basically judge it too early, but this Mount signing for £60 million with a limited budget, it's a very to me it has to raise the United quality team. Otherwise, it's a risky signing.
Very risky.
So you've got to basically say Ten Hag must be all in on Mount being a needle mover for this United team. So I'm gonna judge him accordingly, like that, as in what is Mason Mount doing to this United team for 60 million and 300k a week?
So, being the person who he's come from, the team. First of all, I meant a moment's silence for Casemiro's knees, because within the midfield of him and Bruno, he's going to age faster than Fabinho ever did. So just a moment of silence.
That will happen.
Moment of silence. Thank you.
That's right.
Speaking of Mount, I think there's always been this thing that Ten Hag really liked Mount when he saw him at Vitesse, right? There's always this mythological, urban legend thing that he's liked him since he saw him at Vitesse when he was very young. I think Mount, if you simplify his instructions and do not ask him to be a creator at all, yeah, just be very simple. The examples I can give is in 2021 in the semi-final FA Cup against Man City, and then also the Champions League semi-finals against Real Madrid, and the final where he was part of a three with Jorginho and Kante, and they were just literally marshalling and forcing them back. If you limit the instructions then and don't let him overthink anything and don't give him time to think about anything, then you've got a good player. The problem is, if you ask him to do anything more, he doesn't have the talent to do it. Okay? He overthinks things.
That's not a good sales pitch right there.
It doesn't matter. It's what
he doesn't have to anymore. He already sold me the product.
Andrew's like, just don't give him instructions.
What do you? These are things I don't know. What do you mean by he doesn't have the talent? What exactly doesn't he
doesn't have the talent? He's put 9 through balls in 4 years at Chelsea. 9 through balls.
He just described him as a tactical player, not a technical player. That's why he said that.
He crosses with his head down. His final ball, when he comes in with his head down as well, he doesn't look. His shot is okay. But he tries to do a lot of hero ball that doesn't work. His long ball passing is not that good at all. It's average, to say the least. And you know what? I can say this now. I've said it before.
Bro, get this shit off me, bro.
Somehow it worked on your guys to buy him. I honestly think he's bought. Ten Hag's bought him to be that. That's why why everyone thought he was so perfect for Liverpool in that 3, where he would just be that,
because he can't play football and he can only run.
Henderson 2.0 essentially.
Henderson's younger cousin. We already know.
Yeah, exactly right. That was the thing. Something a role like that. I think that's what Ten Hag sees in him, because he's got Bruno already. Bruno's going to be his creator, whatever, the 10, whatever like that. And I think he sees him more of a more athletic Christian Eriksen, because I'm surprised, because Christian Eriksen's obviously a far better passer.
Christian Eriksen's the better passer, though.
Of course, that's what I mean. But what I mean is, it's like the man literally died on the pitch 2 years ago, and they're playing him like 90 minutes every game. You know what I mean? I mean, they're asking him to do stuff he doesn't do, and I think Mount will do that side better than Christensen will. But I don't think the passing side.
Because this is where you lost me, bro. I'll tell you why this is where you lost me. Because for us, Eriksen last season has been playing as a deep lying midfielder.
Right.
He drops to like between the defenders and even take the ball from that low and progress it up the pitch. And this was the job that De Jong was meant to do. So that's why I said at least I understand why we got Eriksen when we couldn't get De Jong, because he was supposed to be De Jong's backup anyways. I don't think it was in his plans to start Eriksen the whole season. He just got the right profile and he was trying to get 2 of them, one for free and one would have been our marquee signing. We just couldn't get the second one. But this is why I'm saying, like, so let's say we start Mount in certain games, okay? Mount goes off, we bring on Eriksen. What happens then? Because you're bringing on 2 completely different players.
Right.
When you're playing with Mount, I'll tell you what I can really envision, and I'm going to be really serious about this. And please, no one understand me wrong and take this comparison wrong. I think he's trying to play how Liverpool played 3-4 years ago.
Yes.
Where, because their style of, because they always played with high possession, but their high possession was much different than City's. City's was about recycling the ball too much, whereas Liverpool was about trying, crossing. The minute you lose the ball, you had very high presses. Everyone was pressing in the right areas where they just win the ball again so quick so they can create another chance. Whereas City was a little bit more patient. When I see you going for a player like Mason Mount, I just pictured that midfield, because Liverpool's midfield was not about controlling the game. They were about work rate. They just won the ball quick, go back to the wingers, go back to the fullbacks, find a cross, find an outlet, and this is what they always did. This is how I envisioned this midfield. Now, if this is what he's getting Mount for, it is what it is. That's what he wants to do, because Mount is not a great passer. Casemiro is not a great passer. Bruno can pass, but I have my issues with him that he doesn't really make the right decisions at times. I rate him on the technical part, but I don't rate him on the technical part. I think he makes a lot of mistakes because his decision-making is horrific.
There's a way to really simplify this, though. It's all gas, no brakes. Everyone is going at it 100% constantly. Yeah. There's no one taking a breather. I think that's the best way you can sum it up, correct? I think there's no one that could put their foot on the ball.
Well, Bruno's attempting to now. I guess he's
attempted to, but he's not that player. He's he's essentially gonna have to be in this new. But that's the problem, though.
That's why they bought Mount. That's why they bought Mount. It's extra legs in midfield, so Bruno doesn't have to do.
But the one thing I will give faith to you, Staffy, my boy. The one thing I'm gonna look out for you with this is this. So Chelsea have sold a player to the team that finished third, a player to the team that finished second, and a player to the team that won the league. So all 3 of these teams are trusting that it's the cesspool at Stamford Bridge which is making these players not perform.
Yeah.
Not these players don't have talent and these players aren't quality. So all these players are jumping ship. We're going to find out whether the Chelsea fans are right to write them off, or you individually, the top 3 teams. And I do think that's an important point. The top 3 teams from last season are saying that this team that finished 12th, now we want your players. We're going to pay a premium for these players. these players
Premium is
help
much.
Chelsea win the Champions League. So that's what I'm just wondering: are these players going to run it back in different systems with managers that have more faith in them? Do you know what I mean?
Listen, if they do, actually, I give leeway to Kovacic a bit because for me, he was the better of the players at Stamford Bridge. The other two, if they bang at their other clubs, I couldn't care less because they didn't do it for my club. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. I had 3 and 4 years of these guys. And I've had enough. Do you know what I mean? I've just had enough. Do you know what I mean? It's a clean break for everyone. It's like a clean slate. Go do, you know what? Show us that you can do this, and then prove us right or prove us wrong. But we don't care. That's the whole thing. Move on. You can do your bit there. They won. It's not as if they won things with us as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they were like, and they played their part. All of them played their part, no doubt, in winning us things. But it's just time to move on. I'm just so glad I don't have to talk about them. Apart from Kovacic, those two in particular, I do not have to have a lengthy 2-hour discussion on a stream about them when we're talking about something else because someone mentions their name, and that's now on Staffy to talk about.
Staffy's gonna be the next one. Like
they tried telling me, Andrew.
You know what? We're gonna mention Mount one time, and then Staffy's just gonna go off for 45 minutes.
They tried telling me, Andrew, today. One second, bro. They tried telling me today that I should be happy because Mount won a Champions League.
2 years ago. Yeah.
He won a Champions League. He was Chelsea Player of the Year 2 years in a row. Yeah, Staffy, he has an assist in the Champions League final. Wes Brown got us an assist in the Champions League final in 2008.
Yeah.
Did we sell him for 60 million the year after? No, we didn't.
Wes Brown,
but he won a Champions League, Staffy. You should be happy. Ryan Bertrand won a Champions League with that Chelsea team in 2012. So
Dude,
what?
Jose
what does that do for me?
One. You know what I mean? Jose Basingo won in that final.
It's just like the reasoning, bro, where like when I sit here and list everything that I just listed and I hear rubbish about, well, he won a Champions League. Oh, I didn't know it was a one-man team sport. I thought Mount won it alone. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know it was 11 players. Like, as if I didn't watch. Like, people think I didn't watch Chelsea that season. I didn't see how solid you guys were on defense.
Yeah,
starting
Rudiger
from Mendy.
Didn't do anything for that block in the first half.
Mendy.
Yeah.
The three in front of him, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and whoever played the third. I think it was Christensen most of the time.
Yes.
And then you got a Kante. That team was built on defense. And they hit on a counterattack or whatever, or a long ball, whatever that was. They won a Champions League. And they want us to hold it for them forever, Mount and Havertz. Like how about the rest of the time? Like, I haven't rated this guy for 3 years. This is why when people tell me that, like, I am not going to change just because he signed for my club. Like, I have to stay consistent. And if he proves me wrong, as I said, if he proves me wrong, good for me. Because I get to sit here and celebrate that.
But the problem
do you know what I stump other Chelsea fans with? I go like this. I go, if Mount wasn't at Chelsea, would you want us to sign him? I get silence.
Yeah, but
it's just that's the point. That's the point. It's like going that's fine.
It's not a point, man. It's not. And I'll tell you why.
It is because like every club has it. They overrate the players that come through their academy. Okay, they simply overrate them if they don't do well. Like Trent has done great things and stuff like that, but at right back he's severely overrated, and now he's moving into midfield.
Liverpool
fans. What is that?
Don't start. Leave me alone. I'm here to host.
The problem with what you're saying is obviously everyone has players they overrate. That's fine. That's not a problem. The problem is when you say would you sign Mount for Chelsea? Mount doesn't fit Chelsea. It's not. It's very simple like that. He's not a player that you could say that it would improve Chelsea because he's not a player that is built for that system of football.
Right.
If Mount, for example,
if you watched him play, if I wasn't a Chelsea fan and something else like that, and watching him, if I was a Man United fan, I would feel the same as Staffy, and I think I'd be.
Obviously, I'm not saying he's wrong, but the point. But I'm just saying to what you're saying. I'm saying. Why would I want to sign someone that obviously hasn't fit into what style of football that has been playing? I think that's why it's a bit of a misnomer. Right. I think the way to look at it is, look, can this player affect my team? Can it affect it in a positive way, or will it be a negative amount for the amount we're paying for him?
And
That's
can
what's
the
looking at.
player actually acclimatize to their new surroundings and being told what
Correct.
to do?
Exactly.
Because they literally go from whatever you think about him and stuff like that. He was the perceived face of the club the last 3 years, right?
He was the face of the club.
Yeah,
for the last
that's
few
what I
years.
mean. But can he now go to Manchester United and deal with that as well? Do you know
Is
what
he
I mean?
actually getting the 7? Is
I
he
don't
actually
know.
getting
No,
The
7?
thing
don't
is-
even
the
say
thing
that.
is,
If you want me to leave the
Varane-
stream, say that
No,
one more
no,
time.
but for real, someone said it.
He's
in a
asking a
different stream.
genuine question. Why?
I'm not like
Nah, I know,
genuinely.
I'm messing with
The
you.
I'm not
the
trying to banter
19
here.
at-
Genuinely.
the 19 is vacant at United because Varane's gone to the number
Are
4.
they actually gonna give him the number?
Yeah,
7?
but let's not. But the thing is let's not go too far in the way of like. For me, he's still a good to very good player. Like I think that's the baseline of his ability.
It's the
Like
same thing with Havertz, though.
But all I'm saying is Mount for me is like he's definitely got the luxury of going to United and let's see what he can do in a new environment. Like I feel if you look at Chelsea this last year, obviously you've got the situation with all the different managers, styles of play. Before that, with the Tuchel and the Lampard, and they've really not had that stable. He's not had a coach who's been able to develop and grow him. He had Tuchel for a while, but what I'm basically saying is that at 24, like this was a good break for both parties, you know. And I don't know exactly how he's going to fit into United perfectly, but he is a good player. He's gonna add value to the United team.
The whole conversation. The biggest issue is fit. That's the biggest issue.
But
Because a
midfield
3 of Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno doesn't work.
No,
There's
but that's
that
the thing.
midfield, you need at least one guy who has an element of ball retention in him.
But this is what I'm
the only way it works is in a 4-man midfield.
No,
if you
but
get another person in there, it might.
Talking about Diamond or something.
So who's gonna invert then?
What if we're
Dallo can't
underplaying how
invert and
much
Shaw can't invert.
Shaw and Martinez in the build.
Neither of them can invert. Neither.
But I think Shaw and Martinez are going to be really important in build up next season. Clearly, there's something there that they're going to have to be if that's what the midfield, the overloads, the inversion. So I expect Lisandro to be playing. I don't know. You want to be him cracking 100 passes a game, that sort of thing, and you're going to be seeing him take up more advanced.
He's going to be playing in that midfield a lot. Jay.
No, but the thing is, it's not just about the centre back.
Dallo.
For example, you need to have someone in that position. It doesn't even need to be an inversion. You can play a 3 at the back.
Yeah, so people are saying Dallo can invert, Shaw can push high and wide. So there's definitely options to overload the middle, help you guys build up.
Jay, I can't wait till this absolutely sucks next year, and then me and
but I'll tell you something.
Right. It's more likely to suck, but there are solutions that it could work.
Karan, I hear what Karan is saying. He's saying it's more than likely gonna fail, but it's possibly
both Arsenal with Havertz and United with Mount have bought players when you might think there's other players they could buy that might be more of a fit, and both of them have gone for a player where they're going to clearly do some tactical thing around the team to fit these players in, and we don't know what it is yet. But both of these managers have got a clear idea of what they're trying to do.
I kind of know what with Havertz. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen with Havertz.
Okay, I do want to get into that because listen, 35 minutes we've spent on Mason Mount. We've given him more than probably his correct price.
Thank you, I feel bad. He actually looks genuinely sad.
Yeah, Staffy's been depressed.
Thank you,
I'm exhausted. Bro, you don't understand, bro. It's been a long day for me.
We do understand because we can look at your face, so we fully understand.
That was gonna say, people don't understand. When I do streams, by the way, I have a full-time job from home, so like I'm legit working and then doing streams. So like I'm actually exhausted dealing with something here. My brain is about to explode, and then I have to turn around here and talk about Mason Mount.
That
It's
will
not
be your
easy.
second full-time job from now
Yeah,
on.
that'll just be
Will
your
your
second nature
full-time
to you.
job.
Anyway,
But the thing is,
450 people are watching us currently. Please do make sure you're slapping the like button. Do make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now, please like, subscribe. I don't want you to move like Mount. I need better conversion rate. So make sure you're liking the video.
Oh, that
minimum,
joke is gonna be good next season. Oh, you're gonna keep saying that.
minimum 50%, minimum 200 likes. Yalla, everyone right now, please like the video, subscribe. Big up Felipe, Vagabond, Cool Guy, Chombe, John, Ganzo, Zlatan, AJ, CFC, Pirate, and Joe for the super chats. Big up to you all. We're going to put up the super chats on the screen now. Make sure you're all liking and subscribing now. Continue to share the videos, all of that good stuff. Get us to 200 likes quickly. Vagabond is asking a series of good questions. Mount or McAllister? I'm going to say McAllister. Staffy?
McAllister, of course.
Andrew?
I don't care what the question is. It's McAllister, so I don't care.
Karen?
It's McAllister, yes.
And Jay?
Mount.
Jay just didn't want it to be a clean sweep.
You know what it is? It's like
It's actually closer than you think.
But it's like Champions League final, like top. Like I know McAllister's got
World
more.
Cup winner.
Yeah, he's McAllister's more on an upward trend than Mount at the moment. But I just can't just be like, I can't just be giving somebody that's had a couple of good seasons at Brighton the spot. Let's see what happens.
I hear you. This is the Cool Guy. I'm going to say thank you for the super chat, but this is probably the worst $2 you've spent in your whole life. Mount over Rice any day of the week. That's like saying, I don't know, Henderson over McAllister. That's just insane. Like
They don't even play the same position.
You need
It's
to
not even a
chill.
comparison.
Cool Guy, I appreciate you. Love for the sport, bro, but this is wild. I'm going to be honest with you. Chombe says when Mount kills it, Staffy will be happy. Trust me. I think Staffy would be happy if Mount kills it, but he's expecting that Mount won't kill it. That's the thing, Chombe. Thanks so much for the super chat. Big up to John Sam, who says Mount will be a high pressing and press resistant center midfielder with Onana coming too. We will be hard to press. Last season, our press resistance was crap. John Sam, I'm going to say thank you for the super chat.
That might work.
But I do not know how Mount is going to make you more press resistant when he isn't press resistant himself to begin with.
No, he's saying the press resistant CM is Onana. I don't think he's saying...
I understand, but Eriksen is more press resistant than Mount.
Correct.
Definitely.
But he's saying Mount is a high pressing midfielder, not he's
more press. We all agree that he's going
to. Yeah, but he's not saying that Mount is more press resistant. He's saying Mount.
No,
is
he's saying
presser.
he's high pressing and press resistant.
Yeah, press resistance. He included press resistance in it.
I think he means he's saying Mount will be a high pressing.
Just put a comma after the CM. Put a comma after the CM. You'll understand it.
I didn't know.
I think Mount is going to give you more pressing, but not more press resistance.
No, he won't. No, definitely not. I think, but that's just the way I read it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just thought.
Do you think Mount? How press resistant do you think Mount is? I don't think he's that. He's not press resistant, but he's not press resistant.
No,
I wouldn't shout from the rooftops. Mount is press resistant. That wouldn't be like.
He's not Erdogan. Let's put it that way. He's not someone.
Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not.
No chance.
He's 50-50. Put it that way. Yeah, I think that's.
Let's wait. Sam, what's the next topic? We've given Mason Mount so much.
Havertz. Yeah, I'm just run through the super chats quickly. Big up to Ganso said after reading all the tacticals crap, they seem to be thinking Mount will be playing in the left half space as the team builds up in a 3-2-5, meaning Shaw or Dalot would be more responsible for build-up. We discussed this earlier on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really do not think Shaw and Dalot can invert. I'm sorry.
If you
doesn't invert.
If you see 3-2-5, instantly think this guy has not watched anything. Not every team plays in a 3-2-5. Literally, Pepper plays in a 3-1-6. He plays in a 3-4-3. He plays multiple systems. If you see 3-2-5, instantly you go, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
I think when he says 3-2-5, because he's talking about the fullbacks pushing up next to the
but Dalot and Shaw aren't those guys. That's the thing.
No, but
Dalot actually does do that.
I understand what he's trying to say. But the thing is, 3-2-5 is not.
No, I'm telling you, he does. He's not good at it. I'm not saying that he's good at it. I'm saying he does get in these positions.
I make steak at an average level. Am I a chef now?
I did not say you're a chef, but that's what I'm saying. You can attempt to make steak. You're just not good at it.
Yeah, you're gonna attempt it and fail. And Ganzo, this is why.
That's what I said.
And Ganzo, this is why I hate tacticals. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to Zlatan who says, Akhi Hussam, 60 million quid for a useless camel. I think you gave Mason Mount the best nickname ever, which is the London Camel. That day, I can't lie to you, was a dark day for Staffy and for many others, and long it may continue. I hope Man United fans are miserable this summer. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to Cool Guy, who says United have 2 world-class players max. Sell them all. Damn, Cool Guy. I can't lie. That's you went 0 for 2 there with your both your super
Rashford, Martinez, maybe.
Who's world-class? There's no world-class players at Man United.
Rashford, maybe.
Casemiro,
this
maybe.
season. What
Casemiro's
Rashford this
world-class.
season?
No, but Rashford ain't
Rashford is
top
not
5
world-class.
left wingers in the world.
Rashford is not world class.
Yeah, I
He's
can't lie
close
to you.
to
I
it,
think
though.
Casemiro is the only argument. Casemiro is definitely world class. The others, Retired Lesson says Chelsea FC is that drug dealer that sells you flour as if it is La Coca. That is a wild super chat. That is
Have you ever watched The
extremely
Matrix?
accurate.
You ever watched the film The Matrix? We're both
Yes.
the red pill, bro.
The
We're both
thing
given red pill.
is right. The
That's
thing
what
is,
it
what
is.
I find funny about the no disrespect to Winterstuff and no one here. Not a problem with any of you guys. It's just when I see Chelsea fans online and they gas the transfer window every season, every window, and then they go and they win. They lose 4 games on a bounce, and they win in 6 months. They lose more games than they get transfers done in a season. It's just, come on, guys. Focus on next season. Get Poch in. Let's see what happens. Celebrating Mount like it's like having leaving parties for him. It's like, come on.
No. We are focused on next season. The point of we needed to get deadwood and useless players out, and that's what we're doing. We're celebrating because we're getting useless players out, and we don't have to have Poch burden.
I think you've got more useless players than.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, there's this thing with the players that Chelsea have now, and I'm almost like, when did these players get anointed the next big thing? Like, as in, like, these players that Chelsea are retaining have so much to prove. Like, so much to prove.
I tell you,
like,
when it was
coming in with going into next season with say Noni, Mudryk, Sterling, this Jackson guy, and Kunku as your forward options. Is that risky to you? That feels risky to me.
I'll tell you the classic way to describe this is you've got 3 left backs at the club: Chilwell, Cucurella, and Maddison. Maddison is probably close to the other 2, and yet he's the one being sold, and he's the one with the most potential. So I've always said, look, try and say, I don't know, let's just see what happens with this squad, because I think that getting rid of all these players. Look, I'm happy. I've made my peace with Havertz. I didn't like the signing when I first saw it. I've made my peace. I've kind of looked into a lot of film. I did a lot of research. I saw Mikel's comments afterwards, and we are moving on to Havertz eventually. But the point is, I've done a lot of research on how we're going to use Havertz, and there is a reason why we've bought him. It's quite clear. But
I want to get to it in a second. So let me just finish up these ones. Big up to you. AJ says, "What are thoughts on Minerals cussing you out?"
I don't know. How do you feel when you squash an ant? You know what I mean?
That's a great answer. Thank you, AJ, for the super chat. CFC Pirate, big up to you, my brother. He says Mount plus Sky for 120 million. The total number of sales by CFC so far is at 208 million. Todd was picked by Roman for a reason. He's doing what he does best. Good times over the horizon, gentlemen. CFC Pirate, I was watching, and I know you were watching too earlier on the terrace. And I'll be honest with you, my brother. Listen, what you're saying is facts. I already tweeted out. I think Chelsea have won the transfer window already. Like, it's just like somehow they've managed to get. And I get what Wintersurfer is saying. He's saying they played crap for us, so I don't care if they succeed elsewhere. For us, they didn't do it. So from his perspective, they sold 2 players who have underperformed massively for massive amounts of money. So, like, I can't lie to you. Somehow they've managed to do it, and
June was all about sales for us. July,
exactly, and they need to be investigated. This is worse than 100. This is worse.
No, but the thing is, what I struggle with as well is for the amount of money they've paid for these players. That 2020 window, 275 million. This past window, 275 million, and they're celebrating selling these players for 208 million. The amount of money you've invested in these players, and this is the way that you're selling. I just don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I understand
that's them underperforming.
That's the squad. That's from going into the future and stuff. If it was me, I'd be like, what the hell have we been doing for the last 3 years?
No. That is a part of it, but it's also like we're not going to have another season of what they can do and stuff like that. It's like, get them out.
You're going to have other players going to say what can they do. You're going to have Sterling. You're going to have Guys like Chukwuemeka not going to have.
Listen, but when you're getting paid well for these mistakes, it's okay.
That's
because
fine,
I'll
but the
speak
thing
from
is-
experience. There's players that we still can't offload. Like, for fuck's sake, we can't even sell Maguire yet.
We can't sell Cedric, for God's sake. Okay, like,
Yeah,
we've got players.
but that's not a costly mistake like these other players. They paid good money for.
Yeah, that's
Havertz
why I'm
3
saying.
years
With
ago.
from Chelsea's perspective, getting 65 for Mount, 60 for Havertz, stuff like
It's
that.
like when
is
us when we
impressive.
sold Lukaku after 2 years, we only lost like 5 million in that deal. That wasn't a bad deal. We were happy to sell him for that.
I've got to be
much.
honest with you.
Okay,
I did
guys,
not-
listen. Let me just run
did
through
not
these
think we'd
quickly
get
so we can get to the Havertz thing and the Maddison thing. So I don't keep you guys for too long. The crap is coming out. There's no money, and we have to wait to the end of the window to see what happens at Liverpool. FSG out now, says Joe. That's why I tweeted FSG out earlier on, planning on doing a plane for the second home game of the season. The way this FSG have treated this football club is absolutely disgusting. And stay tuned tomorrow, inshallah. I've got a Liverpool show planned too. So look out for that one. Big up to you, Joe. Big up to Chombe, who says, enjoying this is football with eating pizza, pretzels, and smoking my double apple. Staffy, my boy, you should be glad you're not hopeless and miserable like me. It is what it is. Just enjoy it. Will win. You know what it is? I think they don't understand how miserable Liverpool fans are this summer. Like, I'm sat here laughing at Staffy because I can and because I annoy the crap out of Staffy. So I'm going to annoy him more. But from my perspective, honestly, if I sit here and I do a Liverpool stream, thank God I don't invite any rivals on the Liverpool content because I will lose my mind. So big up to you, Chombe. Big up to you,
I'd be
Chombe.
nice. I'd be nice.
No,
I'd
you
be
wouldn't.
nice.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
would.
Big up to you, Chombe. Man United should have gone for Kovacic, more of a Frankie de Jong profile. I agree. I think Kovacic is going to be the best performer out of all the guys that Chelsea sold this summer. So that's what I'd say, Sage. And thank you so much for the super chat. That's actually a very smart point. Kovacic would have elevated Man United by far. Arsenal future screwed. Kroenke did it to the Rams and AVS to win the NHL and
Avalanche.
NFL.
The
And
Avalanche.
Nuggets won
I'll
the
cover
NBA,
this in
so
a
now
second.
he wants the quad. Investment is only for him. We're going to get into the Arsenal section now, Mike. So I say thank you for the super chat. We're going to allow Karen to kind of expand on that because I know he's a Nuggets fan as well and he's a Rams fan. So he follows Kroenke everywhere he goes. So that's the thing. Winter Surfer, thoughts on
He
James'
followed
future?
me.
Are you worried?
He followed me all my teams.
That's
I'm
true.
worried. I'm worried at the point of if it happens now that we've got a replacement in. That's what I'm worried about. But I'm also not worried about not rushing him back as well now. If we've got Gusto there, it's like just we don't have to rush him back. I think he has to, if he wants to continue playing right back, he has to change his body. It's too big for a right back. He looks like the Hulk out on the right back. He needs to change and become a bit more lean, or you transition into a centre back. That's what would happen.
Okay, big up to you, Felipe. Big up Chombe for the Massel super chat right there. If you know, you know. If you
If
don't
you know, you know.
don't.
We're not even gonna explain what that
Yeah, I'm
means.
not even gonna explain. Big up Staffy and
Inside joke.
the Massel. And finally, Chombe, thank you. Vagabond. This is what I want to transition to. Havertz or Mount, because we have to. This is how life works as a content creator. We have to compare. Before I do that, big up all the super chatters. Make sure you're all liking, subscribing. Almost 500 people are watching us. Like the video, subscribe to This Is Football if you're yet to do so. Yalla, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing the videos. Vagabond, this is the question that I want answered. But
Sam,
first,
before you start, I gotta
yes.
go. Thank you for having me,
I was
bro.
about to segue you out. See?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No.
I thought you forgot. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I'm not giving you an intro anymore. Go on, tell them where to go. Go on.
What do you mean? No, I was just gonna say thank you for having me. I'm sorry I can't stay for the Havertz segment. I only stayed for one shit segment. Now you guys gotta enjoy the other shit player on your own. So that's all you guys. You enjoy that. Hussein,
Enjoy.
thank you for having me. Guys, tomorrow El Ahwa is back. You know what? Another hookah coming. So stay tuned to that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank
Talk
you for
about
having
Matt
me.
then tomorrow as well.
Mount 110.
But I thought you said it's gonna be easier when I'm smoking hookah, so that's gonna be a lot easier than this. But thank you for
Fair
having me,
enough.
bro, and I'll see
Fair
everyone
enough.
tomorrow again.
See you, Staff.
Nice meeting you, man. Have a good evening.
So look, big up stuff. So we've spoken on Mount. I want to kind of speak on Havertz and Maddison here at the end because Mount had to be the big meal of the day because Havertz was announced a day before, so was Maddison. Because it was Eid, I couldn't put on a stream quickly. Even today, our door hasn't closed, bro, from the morning. Someone's coming in. I know the thing is with the Arabs, right? I'm gonna just say this quickly. We don't have family trees. We have family forests. Like there's like I've got no exaggeration. If I combine dad's side, mom's side, I've got like around 100 cousins. So you guys know how many times I poured coffee and gave someone sweets today. So yeah, make sure you guys are liking the video, make sure you guys are subscribing. Let's get into it. I want to talk James Maddison, I want to talk Havertz. We're gonna go to Karen first because he finished above Tottenham. So go on, Karen, talk to me about Havertz.
You see, I didn't even say that. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm not even. Thing is, right? Usually it's Alan, and Alan annoys everyone. But it's been calm. Like I don't understand why we're doing this. Don't stoke the fires, okay? Maddison is fine. We'll get into Maddison, but in terms of, let's start with that super chat first, because I think people have forgotten a lot of stuff. I think people have forgotten how much money we had to pay off to get the stadium done. I think the fact is there was a period of 5 years where everyone else was spending ridiculous amounts of money. We made £20 million profit in the transfer window. People have forgotten how much we've suffered in terms of spending. We've spent nothing for over a decade. People have forgotten. I think I find it hilarious that people have forgotten how little we've spent. We're spending our tops under Mikel, our top transfer spend was 50 million for Ben White before this window. Like I don't think a lot of people are forgetting how little we like. People always bring up the amount we've spent. Oh, you spent the most in the window, 145-ish million in that window. Guys, we're in a world where people are spending 600 million in two windows. I don't understand what we're doing. We're meant to be the ones that have sacrificed all of our
people.
I'm not. It's not even shade. It's just facts. These are facts, okay? And it's not. I'm not saying this because it's Chelsea. These are just plain and simple facts. So everyone did, brother. If you had your house, you
everyone did, man.
Everyone did. Okay, everyone's a bit sluggish right now. So
don't feel bad about yourself. It's okay. We all
no. But the point is that the money is there. We have one of the lowest wage bills in the top 6. We've terminated contracts instead of basically leeching out the plane for years and years. We have made the right decisions, and we've got people out that needed to get out. So I struggle with the whole they're buying the league, they've spent everything, they bottled it, and now they want to make sure everything. Banter aside, the facts is that we've backed our manager. We've got him his primary target, a target that I've wanted for almost 3 years now. We've got Declan Rice in, we've got Kai Havertz now, who, let's get into it, is going to be someone that will be playing. It's Havertz. I'm sorry, it is Havertz. It's not Mount. I like Mason.
Do you guys
Mount.
agree, Havertz?
Sorry. So let me talk to you for a second.
Yeah,
let me talk to you.
Let me talk.
JJ, just tell me Havertz or Mount first, and then you can go.
Mount on body of work over the last 2-3 years, got to be Mount.
Andrew,
I'm going to take it as I'm going to say Mount because I know what he can do in the position I think Man United are going to play him in. I don't know what Havertz is going to do in the position.
I think
I'll make my argument. But I want to hear this out because the thing is, there's no animosity from me. If you want to ask me some questions, I'm
no. So let me talk to you because I heard your little speech there about Arsenal and how you're not Jenny from the block anymore. You had to grow up on the nitty gritty. And I get it. Like listen. You're talking to a guy whose chairman didn't buy a player for a whole season. So when you're talking about that, we also have to talk about expectations and growth. Correct. So now you finished second. Mm-hmm. You've dropped 200 million in this window. So we don't need to get into the semantics of how much you've not spent in the previous 5 years. We can focus on the 600 million pounds that you spent. So you've got the best manager, not the best after Pep, but one of the best managers in the league. Mm-hmm. You spent the most money over the last few years. Yeah, that's the fact that you've spent the most money.
No, we have not. Chelsea have.
Well, sorry. Apologies. Chelsea have spent the most.
Even United have spent more than us.
Okay, no. I'd say that Arsenal over the last 3 years have spent
Sancho. Varane, we can go into their transfers over the past couple of years. They've spent multiple times over
Okay.
70, 80 million.
Okay,
So
so
even I forget the reason why the point that I think you're going to try to make is what is the expectation for this season now?
no, yeah, I think the expectation is Arsenal are serious contenders. I think
Correct.
most people expect that. Must you win the league? No, but you probably need to
something major.
crack 90 points and be of that level. I'm just looking at it from the point of view of saying that nobody begrudges Arsenal anything, aside from the fact that maybe some Arsenal fans want a level of praise that should be reserved for teams that win, or that should be reserved for champions. And I think that's where some pushback you get from this.
This is where Karen's gonna drop the infamous bar.
No, I think Arsenal have done an amazing job. Like even as
the words of Karen, no one hates Arsenal fans more than Arsenal fans.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, that's right.
Even as a Spurs fan, you have to look at what Arsenal have done in terms of showing teams how you can compete against the City, what you need to do, how you kind of build it.
I like this guy, man. Why do you have Alan? This guy is nice. He's level-headed.
But the thing is that now you've got to. For me, Liverpool's recruitment was so brilliant and so on point. Arteta now with this Havertz one, it's the first transfer he's made where I've been like, okay. I look at the team and I say, okay, maybe he replaces Xhaka. Maybe he's going forward. He's going to do a lot of the stuff that Xhaka was doing. He's going to come into the box, do this and that. And it's the first time I've looked at a signing, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, it's got a risk profile. You know,
it does,
there's a risk profile to this transfer, which was a little bit less. You know, Timber, low risk profile. So I don't know. For me, I expect Arsenal to potentially be champions. They could actually be my favorites for next season. Like they're arguably the favorites. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes, of course.
I think you can make a good case for Arsenal being favorites. But I'm worried that in the need for Arsenal to be perfect in the transfers and what they're doing, is Havertz. What level of disruption is Havertz gonna give to that team? Like, and losing Xhaka. How much of an impact is losing Xhaka? I'm curious.
Excellent. That's an excellent question. But Sam, what did I say when I came on about Havertz?
He said he doesn't support it. He understands it. That's what he said.
Correct. I understand what's going on. I understand what the solution is, and I'm not trying to sound smug or anything. I've done quite a bit of research on this because from the minute it happened, I was like, what? Why? I don't like Havertz. Why are we signing? What are we doing? From when the links dropped, I was like,
I kind of like Karen broke it down. Like he gave multiple different examples of where he could play, stuff like that.
Like exactly. Like I made sure that I did my research, and what basically we're doing is I hate to use the Moneyball thing, but like we're trying to recreate Xhaka, but make him better in two players. We're trying to use the defensive attributes of Declan Rice, the attacking attributes of Kai Havertz, and make it into one midfield. We're trying to recreate what Xhaka does without it being Granit Xhaka, and we're trying to make it the best version of each. And that's why I think this will work, because what Kai Havertz has is an ability to understand space in the final third, and that's what he has. He is a great off-the-ball runner. He's someone that can understand where to be in the box. Yes, his finishing is a bit off at times, and obviously he's been one of the biggest XG underperformers of last season. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's going to be Haaland. He has his faults, and he has a lot of them. And the reason why I'm calm about this is because he's not the only person that will be playing in his role. Like, if he's not having a good game, Emil will come in. If he's not having a good game, we can have Fabio Vieira come in. Like, other people are there to help. But what he does do is he gives specific rotations a new lease of life. There's rotations that we do where we used to have Xhaka on the edge of the box, and you would have a ball from Gabriel over the top. Xhaka would knock it down and Martinelli would shoot. He does that to an excellent level. he has
See-
this ability to get to in the air just to knock balls down.
My only pushback, and this is my thing is looking at maybe Havertz is the left centre mid that Arteta's always wanted. Maybe he was just making
No.
maybe he's just because my thing is that I've got to try and understand it. And listen, from my point of view, Arsenal have got a really good squad. I think I saw a stat. Arsenal actually have the most valuable squad in world football.
Correct.
Did you know that Arsenal have the most valuable squad? Once they complete the signing of Declan Rice, Arsenal have the most valuable squad.
You mean transfer fees, right?
No.
In terms of how much each player is worth,
right? Not
Arsenal have the most valuable squad in world
football. Market value.
Market value.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But so they've got the most valuable. So your Martinellis, your Salibas, your Gabriel.
You need to understand that's also an Achilles heel for them because they've got a whole lot of young players too.
Exactly. So the thing is, it's one of those. Hey, they've got.
You'd say Saliba, Saka, Martinelli. Odegaard, those are 5 alone, probably.
That's 500 million plus.
500 million, right?
But the thing is, right? You say inexperience. What have they just gone through this past year? Do you not think they learned from that?
Experience, of course.
It is 100%. Experience, and the thing is,
and this is why I'm so pro Declan Rice. You know this.
That's why I'm so pro Declan Rice. But my thing is, you can't predict how people respond to adversity. But what I can say is they have now got experience in what being a title race is like. Ramsdale.
They've stepped up. They've stepped up a lot. 8th to 5th to 2nd. Maybe next season is the next step. Final step.
That super chat before,
yeah,
where it said Mount or Havertz. The reason I picked Mount, is because I think one of the most fascinating things in the season is how Kai Havertz is played at Arsenal and how that affects your. Because it was in the statement, or it's it's attributed to what manager said was that he said he'll bring he'll bring to our midfield. He actually said midfield.
If you look on our website, he's classified as midfielder.
Yeah, exactly right. So he said midfield. So obviously he's going to play him. You play a mixture of a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. But I presume
he's going to play like a second striker, basically.
Yeah, I find it fascinating how him and Odegaard are going to who's going to because
coexist basically.
Right? Yeah, coexist. Yeah. I will find that fascinating. I will also.
Karan will tell you that was my point of contention too. I have 2 points of contention.
It was mine as well. It was mine as well.
Mine's the defending bit. When you lose the ball.
Yes.
How that leaves you open.
Of course. And the thing is, this is something I want to see in pre-season.
Right.
And if you ask any Arsenal fan right now, they'll all tell you.
That'd be a scary thought.
It's not. The thing is, a lot of fans will be finding it scary. I find it exciting. I want to see because I believe in this manager. I think that he knows what he's doing. He's not just going to spend 60 million just on a gamble. He has a plan. And
no doubt.
So the thing is, right? I'm excited to see how he uses him. I'm very excited to see because there is an argument that you can have a mobile target man type thing where you have someone that can play either in the left half space, going into the box, creating those cutbacks, or going back post and heading across the box like he used to do for Werner quite a bit. There's different rotations that we can provide and simplify his game so he has a specific role and he's used it in the way he was meant to be used at Chelsea. Because I think a lot of the problems that attackers have at Chelsea, and this isn't a dig, a lot of the problems that attackers have at Chelsea is they're ill-profiled and they're not put in position to succeed. I think that's a big thing that happens at Chelsea, and it has been in the past as well. So I think that if there's one manager that I trust to improve attackers and coach them, it's Mikel Arteta. He did it with Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Sane, and Sterling are both attributed to him. Great amount.
I can't lie. Some managers could get the best out of attackers.
Yes, of course. No. My point is if there's a manager I trust to hone an attackers.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm saying Havertz offensively would do the best. I still have the 2 things, and that's why I told Karan. I myself, as a Liverpool fan, I'm actually waiting to see Arsenal's first game because the 2 points of contention remain the same exact on what Andrew said. I just want to see how him and Odegaard coexist. And my second problem is defensively, what happens. Those are my 2 things. Now, what Karan responded with, when I asked him about this, and which is a very it's a fairly accurate and valid response. He said, we're not necessarily gonna play Havertz and a Rice double pivot against like Man City away or someone. He like maybe bottom 10 teams at the Emirates or even away from home, like a Luton Town, like a Nottingham Forest, like
what
a
was the other
Palace.
thing I said though? If we're chasing games, you can also bring him on and create a more attacking system. And these are the things I think it's a very game state specific signing. I think it's very much a case of he'll start a lot of games, but there will be times where we really push and really have him go make those runs beyond Gabriel Jesus. And if you remember, Kai Havertz at Chelsea, his best times were with Timo Werner when he had someone that he could run off, he could run past.
That's true.
So we have that in Gabriel Jesus. We have that similar sort of mover that he can drop deep and he can run past. There's ways that we can definitely use him, which is why I think why I chose Havertz over Mount. And I like Mount. I think I made that pretty clear. I think he's good. He's a good player. I think that we are better suited to get the best out of Havertz than they are getting the best out of Mount. And that's why I pick Havertz.
That's a very valid argument. I think Man United definitely have been like, Man United have just been a bad place for signings to go to in general. And that's not me, my bias speaking. That's reality. You look at the signings that they made. Bro, Pogba was looked at as the best midfielder in the world when they bought him. And look what happened. So like,
don't remind me. It still hurts, man. It hurts watching what happened at United for Pogba. I love Juve Pogba. That was my guy. And seeing what happened to him, it hurts, man. It really does.
I hear you. Speaking of cesspit, we're going to go to Tottenham Hotspur. That's very cesspit for talent.
It won't be much longer. I really do. I really do believe that. Ange is one of the best appointments.
We'll see.
Seriously, he will be that guy. He's someone that really.
We'll see. We'll see, because I do want to hear your opinion on it. Big up everyone who sent in a super chat. We can read it now when we get to the latter parts. Before we get to Maddison, 400 people are watching us. Make sure you're slapping the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. We've got to 200 likes. Thank you guys so much. Continue to like the video. Continue to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We've got so much content your way. I promised you, you're not going to get bored this summer, and I'm delivering on my promise. So there's so much stuff coming your way. So make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel right here, right now. Big up everyone for the super chats. There's just two ones I want to read. And then after that, I want to go to Tottenham. Staffy, my double apple drove him crazy. I can't lie to you. When Staffy said, like, we're going to talk about Mount again, that guy has been crying in my WhatsApp since the morning. And Elias, no. And thank God that's not my problem to deal with.
No.
I've already have Darwin Nunez, which is a problem. I don't need another problem like that.
No,
I already have.
I literally went through that your midfield and attack in my head, and I was like, could it?
He's not a Firmino. Don't even try.
It just doesn't work.
I know what he's thinking. He's thinking he could play a Firmino role. No,
he's not a Firmino.
No, he's not a Firmino. Oh, he's frozen again.
He's Muller, not Firmino. He's more Muller than Muller.
He's Muller that hasn't realised. No, he's a potential Muller that hasn't realised he's a potential Muller.
But the thing is, at Leverkusen he was
right.
He's been. I think that the way that you've used him as a 9 and sometimes on the right wing, I don't think he's really ever been comfortable.
I will say this. Listen, it's a tribute to him. He's come out and said he can play all of these positions. Okay. He's also said after the 3 years, if you don't know my position, then I don't know what to tell you essentially. And I think if you ask like 10 people, you would get 4 different positions. People would say 4 different positions for him. This is a time now. He's 24. He needs to lock down a position. Okay.
I think also this is the
be
thing.
Be versatile here and there, no problem. But when you say someone like Saka, you're instantly going to go right wing, right? You're not going to say.
Elias, that was such a bad super chat. You made me disconnect.
That's
exactly. But the thing is, right? This is a system that will be extremely tailored to what he needs to do, and that's why I believe, because we need that kind of profile. We need that second striker that plays. But anyway, we need to get to Spurs. Because
yes,
I do like just like we got a little response from to my ask. I will say I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I'm impressed by the signing of Ange. Maddison is something that will fit for you. You do need an Ange. I like that you got Vicario. I think that's a good goalkeeper that could improve. And there are things that I can see that like it's sort of like a building with window, something that can stabilize things. If you get Van der Ven, another good signing, I think obviously Liverpool will probably get him, but if you do manage that signing, Tapsoba is also a good signing. Like these are signings that the whole thing for Spurs now is, and this is the last time I'm going to say it on Spurs, because the whole thing is to reinvest into a more attacking brand of football that Spurs has been built on. Spurs is built on front foot football, going at teams, going at and trying to get goals, and not, this three at the back nonsense that we've been seeing for the last 5 years at Spurs. If you look at Poch's best teams, that 4-2-3-1, everyone was aggressive, everyone was on the front foot, everyone was willing to put a foot in, everyone was willing to go in attack. So this team now needs to find its identity. And there's no better manager to find an identity with than Ange Postecoglou. He's someone that will really invest into his players. He's someone that will get the best out of them because he's such a personable manager. So I'm impressed so far, but you have to keep going.
I would say,
Go on, Jay.
I don't care. I'll just talk because I wanted to give Jay all the time in the world. I want to say this. I don't care what the add-ons are. The Maddison transfer, for me, on paper, is going to be up there with one of the best transfers of the summer. It's desperately needed at Spurs, that type of player. Now, I think Kane's going to stay. I don't think he's going to go to Bayern. Whether he stays and then leaves for another, it doesn't matter. But that type where if you just say to Kane, you know what? Now you just only have to score. You don't have to worry about creating. You just have to score. That's all you have to do. Son, you just have to score. We've got a guy who can facilitate the ball to you. We've got a guy who's it was the top creative English player for the past 4 seasons at Leicester. He was do you know what I mean? At Leicester, who weren't doing well. Last 2 years, but an excellent signing. I don't care what the add-ons are. It's an excellent signing. Because I tell you what, if Leicester had stayed up, it would have cost you 75 minimum to sign him. No doubt they would have asked for 60 to 70 million.
I hear it now. So like for me, like obviously this is it's one of these seasons where almost like ground zero for Tottenham, because even though last season I came into the season, I probably had a little bit more hubris, had a little bit more chest puffed out, was feeling a little bit more,
Patrick was
I was feeling a little bit more braggadocious, and obviously Conte, that whole thing. But even last season, I was feeling like the player identification was improved. The players we were bringing in was improved, but we didn't have the right manager. Like we had almost everything, but we didn't have the manager. So this season now with Ange, I think that Ange, from a technical point of view, is exactly what we needed. Like, even people were like, "Do you want Poch?" And I said, "Well, the thing about Poch is, I ain't seen this guy manage in the Premier League for 4 years. Yeah,
and also
not only that, his PSG team didn't pull up any trees for me. Right. So now, when this guy was our manager, he was never a positional guy. He was never a super tactical guy. We were playing in a Premier League era when, like, teams didn't play out from the back like they do now. Teams didn't have build up like they do now. So the one thing I like about Ange is tactically, formationally, he's gonna help the team play in an attack forward thinking way. He's a big personality. When you're at a top 6 club, you want a good personality manager, someone who can bring the club together. And I think the big thing about Tottenham is, I'm sure we've all seen it when our teams have been bad, when the fan base gets to like a self-depreciating level that's uncomfortable, when it becomes everything's negative, everything's like fuck the players, fuck the team, fuck the management. So you need a manager to bring back like a level of fit romance, like fall back in love with the club, like as in the romance. It's like you've dated people like Mourinho and Conte who think they're too good for you. They don't like you driving them places in your little Fiesta. Do you know what I mean? They think they're out of your league. But now what we've met is like this up and coming, honor student, all that sort of good stuff. So Ange is our belle of the ball. And I think that it's important that we do these smart signings. Maddison is an amazing signing. Like, as in, he for the output level. So basically, we're talking a guy who's basically outputting 20 goals and assists a season in the Premier League. Yeah. So you're adding that to Kane. You're adding that to Son. Yeah. Kulusevski, Richarlison both had poor goal scoring seasons last season. They won't do that badly again. So now you've got 5 players there where you're like, okay, you could do something here. Like the attack's all right. You bring in, you've got Maddison. And for me, when I look at the market and I look at Spurs' position, like you finished 8th. Yeah. So from the Premier League, who's the best player you could literally get? Like sometimes you get a player who goes so far the other way that they become underrated or overrated because they sign for a certain team. Most people are in consensus now that Maddison is a top player, Premier League proven player, should be able to add high levels of value to Tottenham. Spurs need to go and get some defenders. The Demonat just said, like, that's where Spurs need to strengthen. If Spurs buy a couple of centre backs,
you don't need a couple, you need one.
No,
we
need 2 because the problem is soon if we get Tapsoba, we need a backup. So we need, like, even if you go and get Tosin from Fulham, who can back up Romero and Tapsoba, you need 2 centre backs. Otherwise, one of them gets injured and you're playing Dyer again.
Yeah,
you're in the same situation.
I think you need to sell Dyer though. That's the problem.
No, but the thing is if you're gonna send Longley back and you're gonna sell Rodon and you're gonna sell Sanchez and you're gonna sell Tanganga, I'm okay with Dyer being 4th choice.
Okay.
So it's just one of those where you can do too much. But from a basic point of view, like next season, Man City and Arsenal, yeah, are guaranteed Champions League. Yeah. Depending if United buy a goalkeeper and a striker, I'd say they're guaranteed as well. Beyond that, it's a free-for-all.
I would say, personally, and the thing is, right, I top 4 races are. I've
top 5. Give me a top 5 next season.
Is it next season or the season after?
The season coming is going to be a top 5.
This season, top 5. Okay, so I don't know how a top 5 race is going to go. So, but a top 4 race I've lived through. Look, I grew up and I had Arsene Wenger for most of my footballing life. I know top 4 races. Okay, these races are long, they're bloody, and a lot. You can claw back 9 points quickly. It's not like they're not set in stone. So, like, remember, everyone, like, again, teams don't always perform. Hussam said earlier, there will always be one team that underperforms. So 100%. you have to be in a position where you can take advantage of that.
Man City could underperform next season. Arsenal could. Man United could. Liverpool could. Anyone could. Honestly,
like, injuries happen.
We sit here and we keep saying. That's why when Jay said it earlier on, I always say we've said this is about to be the best season ever 500 times already. There's always going to be 1 or 2 teams that underperform. Every single one of you.
Everyone's saying the worst season ever.
But Hussam, can I just say this season?
Let me ask you a question genuinely. Last summer, if I told you Liverpool were going to finish 5th, would you have laughed in my face? Honestly.
Yes.
After the quadruple, be real.
I had you.
The most negative guy had us 4th. That's like you being negative as hell.
But the only thing I'm gonna say, Hussam, is this season. The reason why I'm saying this season is the best season I think ever. The quality level of the teams is too much. It's too much. You go look at Crystal Palace, yeah? They're not even going to finish top half. They're not going to finish top half. Go and look at the players in their squad and be like, this team doesn't finish top half. It's in Wolves won't finish top half. Lopetegui's their manager. Like, it's Emery's manager of Villa. Like, it's just like we've got like
European winner
in football clubs. It's this season coming up is going to be an all-timer. And my biggest concern is I think Arsenal are going to win it. Like, that's my honestly.
What's my pen tweet, bro?
It's honestly, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite because I want to say I've just said I think it's going to be the best, most competitive season of all time, and then I've also just said that I think Arsenal are going to win it, which is a horrible shit sandwich to have to eat. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you have to eat shit, it's best not to nibble. So just swallow it down and try and move on. I think that's the best thing to do here. So
and you know what? Let me just make that the final statement. I'm gonna just listen. We're not gonna get anything better than that. So let me just run through these super chats and then we're gonna wrap it up. Chombe says Arsenal fan waffling at stadium was paid off a decade ago. Come on, you just have to admit it. Americans are just business people. For Arabs, it's a hobby. I can't lie to you. Arabs do run football clubs better, but that's. I appreciate you for the super chat, but I don't appreciate you calling Karen a waffler. Chombe, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Behave, my brother. Behave. Big up to you, my guy. PL odds: City 1.5 to 1, Arsenal 9 to 1. Expectations equal 2 NS. What does 2 NS mean?
It's a typo. It means second. His expectations
second.
are second. The only thing is all I'm gonna say is we've still had. If you're talking about running it as a hobby, you don't know Arsenal Football Club. I'm sorry. I appreciate. I don't know FSG. Don't talk to me about KSC. You don't know what's going on. So it's that simple.
That's him. If you decide you don't want to buy Man United, call me. I'm a broker of the deal.
By the way, next season for City, if they only win the
Stay out of this, Jay. Stay out of this.
Next season, if City only win the championship, that would be underperforming since the season they've just done now. Even though it's the fourth one in a row.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean? It's like that would still be underperforming.
Imagine next season we get the Liverpool Chelsea title race somehow.
If City, no one signs anyone, and still City are favourites for this league.
Oh, they're favourites. I'm
admitting that. I don't know why people go, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Rice doesn't mean anything. Rice doesn't mean anything. Rice doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. City's going to win. City going to win. City going to win. It's because basically the only thing that people fear is change, and the only thing that was worse than City winning the league is us winning it, because it means that all the banter, all the shit you've given us for the past decade is over, and we will be coming for receipts.
Yeah, but the thing, but you've also got to look at the fact.
And you claim them after 20 years.
Yeah,
yes, of course I can.
I
you think I'm going to care? I want to be celebrating in the streets of North
There's
London.
an expiry date on this one.
I think you've got to understand as well, though, like the decline, like obviously the motivational decline. Like, as in, I appreciate City, but if they lose Bernardo, they might not. But if they lose Mahrez, they've lost Gundogan. There's always a certain level of disruption. And I see Arsenal having the continuity. No, but what I'm saying is you have a continuity.
I agree with Jay, by the way.
Yeah, like you've got a continuity, and Hassam's seen it before when City have.
Jay, they're only humans. That's my thing.
Exactly, you've seen it.
It's not about that though. It's
no, it is about that.
No, because what I'm trying to say.
I'll tell you why it is about that. I'm not. I think now that they've tasted European success and European blood, they would want to do that again.
Yeah,
I think their motivation levels for the Champions League are being so high. But when it comes to the Prem, how the fuck are you going to motivate these City players to go beat Brentford?
No one's done fourth, not even Fergie's team.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot of most. How do you out motivate this Arsenal team? Like, I'm not trying to say that City won't be motivated. I'm trying to say that when if they're gonna have a small drop off, you expect Arsenal to at least try and maintain. So let's say City.
I do think we win it personally.
From last season,
I'm willing to say that they're still favourites, but I do think we win it.
No, I'm not gonna. I would go as far as to say that Arsenal going into this season having got 84 points, I think it was 83, 84 points.
84, yeah.
84 points, and then they spent £200 million. You have to be breaking 90 points. I don't think so fair. Now I will then say, do I think City will break 90 points next season?
I'll say no.
Exactly.
No.
That's where
and you know what, I'll say no just because of the start. I think they're gonna start so slow next year.
That's what I'm trying to say. As in,
my thing is
they only started quick one time. The Centurions.
It's going to be close, and City could prove us wrong again. I'm just thinking, City 88s, 89s, late 80s. Arsenal are gonna, if things go to plan for Arsenal, they've got to be thinking they're going to crack 90 points. They were already
they could get 95, 96.
If Saliba didn't get injured, I know there's a number of the Arsenal fan base that'll be thinking that they would have won.
That's where the likes of Timber comes in.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like I can't say with chest that Arsenal are going to win the league, but I'm saying that if you're a logical person and you look at the data, You look at the data.
data's indicating
the
it.
data heavily indicates that they really might. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think City win the league next season, and I'm just going based on the human element. You keep saying we say this. No, I'm saying this, and here's my thing. All either, and I must include my team in this. If somehow we do something correct this transfer window, which is a big, like a chance away for me, so I'm just gonna move us to the side. If whoever from Arsenal or Liverpool has a quick start, and in their first 20 games they've won 19 or some shit, I think that team is going to win the league. City cannot claw it back, man. It's just from a human being element. Why the fuck?
What did you tell me? Mid-season, this season, I've seen it millions of times.
But it's different, Karan. It's different. 4 in a row is different. Here's the thing, and you know what makes this entire thing different? The fact that they won the UCL. They achieved the ultimate objective that they wanted to achieve. From a human being level, if you've been working towards something for 10 years, you finally get it. You'd want to get that thing again. You wouldn't want to get the thing that you've been accomplishing anyway. Like, just from a human element, I don't think
the difference is no one's ever done 4 in a row.
And if I'm Pep, I go...
That's not enough motivation.
It puts them above any United team.
It does. It makes them the best Premier League team ever.
I hear you, but that's still not enough motivation.
But I would just, if I was Pep this season,
think it is, man.
If I was Pep this season, the League Cup and the FA Cup, I wouldn't play any of my.
Which Pep doesn't do. So
no, that's what I would go.
Nathan Jones saved.
Even if you get to the final, just play all your non-starters. I wouldn't even do that. I would bunt the whole cup competitions and just focus on
his non-starters are Julian Alvarez.
Right, okay, but no, that's fine. But I wouldn't play Haaland. You know what I mean? I wouldn't play Haaland.
Yeah, that's it. That's a bit of a drop off.
I wouldn't play them. Yeah, that's the problem.
No, but my point is, and this is what I've been trying to say is, I do think we win it, and I've said this for 3 years now. My pinned tweet is me in 2021 saying in 2024 we'll win the title. That's been my pinned tweet for 3 years now. For 2 and a bit years, it'll be 3 years when the tweet happens. But my point is that I just think that it's too soon to say what will happen. We need to make our signing.
I think really seriously. I think that's why I'm not taking anything apart from City's the only one I'm like going. It's going to finish. I'm only confident it's going to finish where they're going to finish. Every other team, I'm waiting to that. As soon as it goes,
it depends on our second CM.
Yeah,
it depends on our second central midfielder.
It also depends the day after the transfer window. Who's got who? And who's ready to go. After that, we can't predict anything. That's what...
Listen, we will see. The conversations about next season are going to continue. I'm going to get you guys on as well on a future show to do, like preview the season, stuff like that. Let me just run to the super chats. Arsenal only win over City is Rice. City will win. Fair enough, Chombe, if you think that. Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, 230 million, Haaland, 300 million. So how in the world Arsenal more valuable? Now go with the rest of the team. We've got Odegaard, we've got Saliba. Please understand, we're talking about current market value, not their value when they first bought them. That's the difference, because you're looking at that Arsenal team. That team is
just go on transfermarket.com.
Yeah, that team is filled with
older. City's team is older. Kevin De Bruyne is 32.
City's team is a lot older. Odegaard right now on the market is worth more than KDB. KDB is better currently. That does not mean that Odegaard's worth less. Age comes into it, remember.
Yeah.
City is relying on Pep's experience and the quality of their players to win. Arsenal is relying on prayers and a cold man with a dog named win. We all now, AFTV will be lit at the end of the season. CFC Pirate, I appreciate it. I love the hate you have towards Arsenal. That's what tribalism is all about. If you're a Chelsea fan and you like Arsenal, then you need to fix up. So I'm glad that you still hate Arsenal. And that's a good sign for Karen too, because when you hate his club, it means they're doing something right.
You don't want sympathy.
The second thing is, I don't think it's not Arsenal players. They had quality this season too. They just didn't finish the job.
We were on 19 games. We won 50 points. We were on course for Centurions. Like I'm not saying that we were going to get it and all this stuff, but Saliba going down changed massively. We now have Timber coming in that can replace him.
These small things make a big difference in the end. That's the truth. Arteta wouldn't adapt when Zinchenko got.
And he said himself that he's made mistakes. Like he said himself that he needed to use the squad better.
Yeah, Arteta is part of the learning process as well, by the way.
Yeah,
so 100%. It's like he learned about himself.
Let's see, right? Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see next season. Big up to you.
It's something that he's legit called out himself on, though. Like he said.
Yeah, he's spoken about it publicly. I hear you. Leave Nunez alone. He'll become Cavani 2.0. Watch. Listen, I hope
Oh.
you're right. I don't see it happening. I'm not trying to open a Liverpool can of worms now.
Just let him be Darwin Nunez 1 point. Just let him be Darwin Nunez. Don't
Let
compare.
him just be Darwin. I
hate this
agree. You know what? I
comparing.
agree with that. Let's not
this
compare
comparing.
him to any great. Like, chill out.
Comparing.
Edinson Cavani is an all-time great. Arsenal finished 4th at best. Damn, Chombe, you really have some like harsh feelings towards Arsenal. Okay,
What did
okay.
Arsenal do to you, Chombe, man? Jesus Christ.
They will sell Xhaka and Partey and City signing Guardiola. Come on, guys. And LFC and CFC will make top 4. Where that leave United, Newcastle, and Arsenal. Chombe, that's very optimistic on your side.
Sorry,
we're signing Declan Rice and we're signing another central midfielder.
First of all, I don't know. Seriously, I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm not predicting my team unless we haven't signed anyone. We know, like, I know we're signing Cuckoo and stuff like that, but we haven't actually signed anyone this window. Do you know what I mean? For you to pick top 4, if I've still got Kepa in goal, that limits what I can get this season.
Fair.
Even playing once a week. So
Fair.
I'm not.
Listen, I think Liverpool will get top 4, but like, listen, you're going too harsh on Arsenal, Chombe. Too harsh on Arsenal.
Yeah, come on.
Appreciate the super chat though. I don't think these signings have improved Arsenal as a whole. They lack a winning mentality. I think Declan Rice definitely brings a winning mentality. Havertz is a winner of trophies before, so he's won stuff. Timbers won stuff with Ajax as well, so it's not like they're inexperienced.
We literally have a squad full of either international captains or players that have captained their sides coming in.
Exactly.
So Timber's been a captain. Obviously, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Xhaka when he was. Declan Rice is now coming in. We have a squad full of captains.
Would you give the captaincy to Rice?
In a year. Yeah.
In a year, okay.
In a year,
you can't
come in and take. The guy's just literally. Odegaard has just literally taken us to nearly a title. You can't just go, okay, calm. We're going to take the band off and put it on Declan Rice. Give him a year. Let's see what happens, and then he'll definitely be the leader behind the scenes. It's basically like Xhaka was for us. Xhaka was basically captain.
No more Zinchenko huddles, that's for sure.
No. The huddles will stay. I'm telling you right now, the huddles will stay.
No.
Let's see if the tears will stay next season. That's what we should really.
But it's not. But the thing is, the whole point of our season. And this is the last thing I'm sure we're going to say. But the thing is, I think the main thing is the versatility of our squad will be much more improved, and whether it be tears, whether it be passion, whether it be whatever mentality aspect you want to take it, talking about being vocal or however it is, we have a maturing squad, a squad that's going to get better next year. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Okay, big up to Karan, big up to Jay, big up to man like Andrew. We're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Absolutely unbelievable show today. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Make sure you're liking the video, make sure you're subscribing. Shout out to Felipe, Vacabond, Cool Guy, Chombe, John Sam, Ganzo, Zlatan, AJ, Pirate, Joe, Sage, Mike, Elias, MF here to their Buck, and Chombe, big up to you, my brother, even though you're hating on Arsenal a lot, but big up to you still. Make sure you're all liking, make sure you're subscribing. Going to be back tomorrow, inshallah. So before we head out, we're going to go around to the lovely panel. They're going to let you know where you can find them. Jay, where can people find you, my brother?
You can find me at JRatedR. I'm spewing toxic positivity about Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah,
you've got to be positive.
I am very. You have to be. You either go left wing or right wing. I wanted to go a little bit. Be Jeremy Corbyn now, and then I can be all Nigel Farage later. You know. So yeah.
Even I understood that reference. Make sure you go follow Jay, man. Andrew,
you see me floating around. Thank you very much for having me. Hopefully, I did well enough to be invited back.
Great
so
debut.
We'll
Great
see.
debut. Big up. You definitely debuted like the great players on Tottenham.
What can Hussam going on streams? Going on streams is like playing in the Premier League. Debuts matter. You know what I mean?
They do
first
matter.
Impressions, yeah.
First impressions, 100%. Speaking of first impressions, Andrew, where can people find you, my brother?
Follow me on Twitter at the Winter Surf. I'll tweet out what I'm on. Also, Casually FC is a Chelsea channel, close to 2K subs. So if you could follow us there. We prefer people to disagree with us because it gives us more of a challenge. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But just, follow us there. More importantly, follow everyone here. And more importantly, like I said, you freeloaders, press the like button, subscribe, and follow this and share it. Okay?
Thank you.
Sam's like it's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. where he is. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like 1 a.m. for the rest of us. You know what I mean? Just do the job. It's pay the rent. It's free.
I'm so happy that that Winter Service has bullied you guys. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing, as you said. Karan, you've got 30 seconds to answer 2 questions and tell them where you can find them. Where were the captains when they mattered? Because we don't want to keep prolonging this. But he sent in a super chat, so we can't ignore this. And then I don't hate AFC, but their fans. Come on, bottlers. Karan, 30 seconds. Those 2 questions, and where can people find you? Go on.
Neither of those teams finished above us, so I don't really give a shit where you came, what happened with either of your questions. So good stuff there. The second thing is in terms of where can you find me. To find me, I like talking to Sam because Sam's a good dude. So I'm here quite a bit. I'm on Ball of a Passion. I am on my own channel. We've just started back up again yesterday, so great stuff there. We'll be doing a lot more content there. Find me on Twitter at CurrentBOP, it's on the screen. And big up everyone. Bit more of a interactive stream today. It's good to see everyone. And look, there's no combative nature from me. I don't really care. So if you wanna go for shots, I'm just gonna laugh them off. So it's nice to see you, and it's good to see everyone in the comments. So please keep super chatting and paying in the rent. So it's good stuff all around.
Big up, Karan, man. We're gonna wrap it up at that point. Love you all. Make sure to go follow these 3 great guys. Follow Staffy as well, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace.